57% of American Gen Zers want to be influencers. If you compare it to China, 56% of Chinese children want to become astronauts. So why is this? And is becoming an influencer a healthy career for our kids to aspire to? Maybe talk about your story a little bit as part of it.
For me, what was very difficult about influencing, it's your entire life. Because my initial job, I was HGTV.com influencers. We talked about design, and then at the same time that I got pregnant, and we found, of course, views spike when you bring a baby into the mix. Then it's, okay, well, how are you going to blend your love for design with building a home for your family and everything else? I felt like a fragmented person. I felt as if I really wanted to protect my kids, that part of life that's very sacred to me, which is any private part of life. They didn't sign up for this, so I didn't feel like I ever wanted the camera on them, specifically the parenting space. There's a way to talk about parenting without talking about parenting your child. And that's kind of always the direction that I wanted, if I needed to talk in the parenting space, to go. Honestly, it became increasingly hard just with the sheer amount of information that's available on everyone. I found it was not an odd thing to have somebody recognize me on a street or at an airport or at a conference and ask about the kids. And we didn't share their names. We didn't share their faces. We were very private and very mindful about all of that. And yet things kind of spill in. So I think for me, influencing was not going to be a logical course, given sort of my desire to let them have their own life that is completely separate from what I do for a living. But then honestly, I think because I had done it for so long, so I was an influencer for almost 20 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
So I remembered the early internet, just like you did. I remember the evolution of sort of everything that we've ever talked about online. And it just became sort of a race to the most, what we called authentic person, but what really should be called transparent person. Whoever shared the most won the game. I could see how that would be very tempting to do, and to start making life choices based on what would perform well. If anybody has any kind of parasocial relationship with an influencer or someone that they really look up to but have never met in person, you don't have the context for their life. You don't actually know what their life is like. To me, to put out any sort of content that would make my life more appealing than someone else's felt like a lie, because it felt like, if I'm not sharing the context in this, then you're getting the wrong idea. But if I do share the context in this, I'm sharing too much, because this is also a life that's worth preserving.